Grab coffee, JustProfessor here. Your eyes are seeing one thing, but your brain is telling you something completely different. Look at a straight line. Simple, easy. You know what straight looks like. But put that line next to something tilted and suddenly it does not look straight anymore. It looks bent. It looks angled. It looks wrong, but it is not wrong. The line did not change. Your brain did. It twisted what you see based on what is around it. And you trust that twisted version. You believe it. You swear the line is tilted even when it is perfectly straight. Because your brain is not showing you reality. It is showing you a version of reality shaped by context. And you do not even realize it is happening. This is called the tilt illusion. And it proves your brain is not a camera. It is an editor. Here is how it works. Your brain does not process visual information in isolation. It processes everything in relation to everything else. When you look at a line, your brain does not just see that line. It sees the lines around it, the angles, the patterns, the context. And it uses that context to decide what the line should look like. If the surrounding lines are tilted one way, your brain adjusts. It shifts your perception. It makes the straight line look tilted in the opposite direction. Not because the line changed, but because your brain is compensating for the context. And that compensation creates an illusion. A lie that feels like truth. This is why the tilt illusion is so powerful. It does not require you to be tricked. You are not falling for something. You are just seeing what your brain produces. And your brain produces illusions automatically, constantly, without asking permission. It edits reality before you even know what reality is. And you trust that edited version completely. Most people think their eyes show them the world as it is. They think vision is simple. Light hits your eyes. Your brain processes it. You see reality, but that is not how it works. Your brain does not show you what is there. It shows you what it thinks is there. And what it thinks is there is heavily influenced by context, by expectations, by patterns, by everything around the thing you are looking at. So when you see something, you are not seeing it. You are seeing your brain's interpretation of it. And interpretations can be wrong. Think about what this means for everything you see. You look at a picture and you think you see it accurately. But you do not. Your perception is being shaped by the colors around it, by the shapes next to it, by the frame it is in. Change the context and the same picture looks different, not because it changed, but because your brain interprets it differently based on what surrounds it. You look at text on a page, and you think the letters are the size they are. But put those same letters on a bigger page or next to bigger text, and suddenly they look smaller. Put them on a smaller page or next to smaller text, and they look bigger. The letters did not change. Your brain did. It adjusted your perception based on comparison. And you believe that adjusted perception is accurate. But it is not. It is relative. And relative perception is not the same as real perception. This is what the tilt illusion reveals. Your brain does not care about accuracy. It cares about relationships. It cares about how things compare to each other. And it will distort reality to maintain those relationships. A straight line next to tilted lines gets tilted in your perception, not because your eyes are broken, but because your brain prioritizes context over truth. And you never question it, because the illusion does not feel like an illusion. It feels like what you are seeing. And you trust your sight more than you trust logic. Now think about how this affects judgment beyond vision. You meet someone in one context, and they seem a certain way, confident, friendly, competent. But put them in a different context and they seem different. Less confident, less friendly, less competent. Did they change? Or did your perception change based on the people around them? Most of the time, it is your perception. You are comparing them to their surroundings. And that comparison shapes what you see, just like the tilt illusion. Just like the straight line that looks bent. You evaluate your own success based on the people around you. If everyone around you is struggling, you feel successful even if you are not doing well. If everyone around you is thriving, you feel like a failure even if you are doing fine. Your actual situation did not change, but your perception of it did. Because your brain measures everything in relation to context. And context distorts reality. It makes you see yourself as better or worse than you are based on who is standing next to you. This is the trap. The tilt illusion is not just about lines. It is about how your brain processes everything. It does not show you what is. It shows you what is in relation to everything else. And that relational processing creates distortions. Makes you see things that are not there. Makes you miss things that are. All while convincing you that what you see is accurate. Think about how many decisions you make based on visual perception. You choose products based on how they look. You judge people based on how they present themselves. You trust designs that appear clean and professional. But all of that is subject to the tilt illusion. All of that is shaped by context, by what you saw before, by what you are seeing now, by what surrounds the thing you are looking at, and your brain is adjusting everything, tilting everything, distorting everything, without you knowing. And the worst part is that you cannot turn it off. You cannot see past the illusion just by knowing about it. You can look at a straight line next to tilted lines and know intellectually that the straight line is straight. But it will still look tilted, your brain will still distort it. Because the tilt illusion is not something you choose. It is something that happens to you, automatically. Every time you look at anything, this means your perception is not reliable. Not because you are broken, but because your brain was built to interpret, not to record. It takes shortcuts. It makes assumptions. It adjusts based on context. And all of those adjustments create a version of reality that is close enough to be useful, but far enough from truth to be wrong. You see a tilted line when it is straight. You see a bigger object when it is the same size. You see a different color when it is identical, all because your brain is editing. And you trust that edit completely. So here's what you need to understand. Your eyes are not windows, they are filters. And your brain is not showing you the world. It is showing you a version of the world shaped by context, by comparison, by patterns it expects to see. And that version is full of distortions. Small ones, constant ones, invisible ones. The tilt illusion is just one example. One way your brain lies to you about what is in front of you. But it is happening all the time, with every glance, with every look, with every observation. You think you see reality, but you do not. You see your brain's best guess at reality. And that guess is influenced by everything around you, by what you expect, by what you have seen before, by what surrounds what you are looking at. And all of those influences create illusions. Make straight things look tilted. Make identical things look different. Make reality feel like something it is not. The tilt illusion is not a trick, it is a feature. A feature of how your brain works. And once you understand that, you realize how little you can trust what you see. Not because your eyes are bad, but because your brain is constantly editing, constantly adjusting, constantly creating a version of reality that feels true but is not. Stop assuming your perception is accurate. Stop trusting your eyes completely. Stop believing that what you see is what is there, because most of the time it is not. It is what your brain decided you should see. And your brain cares more about context than truth, more about relationships than accuracy, more about making sense of patterns than showing you reality. The world is not what you see. It is what your brain interprets, and interpretations are always distorted. Subscribe if you want to see more ways your brain is lying to you right now.